Why you wanna fly, blackbird? You ain't ever gonna fly. Why you wanna fly, blackbird? You ain't ever gonna fly. No place big enough.
Hey, look at me!
I see you. I see you. I see you. See, when you somebody like me and your father died of AIDS, you heard me? You be more careful with yourself. I watched my father die. He had to take 13 pills every day. I watched him die.
Sorrow, 'cause you'll never love again. You ain't got no one to hold you.
I never had a family. I always wanted that.
If you'd only understand it, nobody wants you anywhere.
Anybody know who Willie Lynch was? Anybody? Raise your hand. He was a vicious slave owner in the West Indies. The slave masters in the colony of Virginia were having trouble controlling their slaves, so they sent for Mr. Lynch to teach them his methods. Keep the slave physically strong, but psychologically weak and dependent on the slave master. Keep the body, take the mind. I and every other professor on this campus are here to help you to find, take back, and keep your righteous mind.
And for the very, very first time, I can see in color.
Almost mad all the time. Problems controlling my anger. Can't really think of just one time. I know most of my anger comes from pain. Someone once told me the reason I have so much anger is from my dad, and it comes from my grandpa, which comes from his mom. That the anger is pain from so long ago. I have many generations of built-up pain. I hope that I can learn to forgive and heal, so I no longer carry the pain of my ancestors. I will forgive. I will heal.
Historical events such as removal from homelands, sexual abuse, exposure to violence, boarding schools, massacres, forced relocation, homicide, suicide, and multiple victimization are ways in which trauma has affected Native communities. 40% of Native Americans live below the poverty line. 39% have some form of a disability. Native children have 2.5 times greater risk of experiencing a trauma, and 30% have some form of depression, while 10% have PTSD. The suicide rate is 3 times higher for Native Americans. Native American women are 2.5 times more likely to be raped or sexually assaulted than women in the U.S. in general.
Play Hester print, play scarlet letters on our chests, become adulteresses, cheating ourselves out of what we truly deserve, willing to settle for less, willing to act like a little less than a goddess, willing to sleep with the enemy, men too scared to stop acting like boys, thinking we can love away their scars, so we take the lashes of the insecurities they pour on us and lick our wounds in quiet mourning for the little girls that we lose by the minute.
My skin is black.
Say if you're sorry. I'm not sorry. Greet me at the front door. You can keep yours.
My arms alone.
being colored is a metaphysical dilemma I haven't conquered yet.
Between two worlds, I do belong. My skin is yellow, my back is strong, strong enough to take the pain inflicted again and again. My mouth is like wine. Whose little girl am I? What do they call me? My name is...
You don't know me.
I do.
My skin is black. My hair is burnt by the long.
I watched him die. You sneeze around him, he would get sick. And he'd tell you, man, I had more than clothes. He'd tell you things like that. But when I look at everything that came with that lifestyle, I don't want that for myself, and I don't want that for my son and my daughter.
And if he wants to leave, then let him leave. You are terrifying and strange and beautiful. Something not everyone knows how to love.
I will sleep on dry pillows now, in a bed big enough to love myself in, full of the knowledge I am priceless and worth nothing but honesty. I will remove the scarlet letter from my chest and take the hand of the little girl I used to be and say, I'm sorry to her. I'm sorry for cheating you out of the joy you have always deserved. And I will wait for a man to come along that can give me the truth of how much he can really love me.
Have to be responsible enough to take care of me, because you know what happens? Imbalance comes, and you know what happens? I look to you, Willow, and I say, Willow, you've got to do this, because if you don't, you become, I start looking towards you. I start making you responsible for my happiness. And a lot of times, you know what we do? We look to our men, we look to our husbands and our boyfriends, and we go, I've given all this up for you, and you've got to make this right by me, and you're supposed to make me happy. Because we've lost our way on how to make ourselves happy. We lost our way. But the more happy I am and the more fulfilled I am, it works for the family.
Happiness is to you, because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Here come bad news, talking this and that. Yeah. Well, give me all you got and don't hold it back. Yeah. Well, I should probably warn you, I'll be just fine. Yeah. No offense to you, don't waste your time.